Hey, hi there, YouTube. We're going to go ahead and jump into the UK news. We're going to go ahead and start it off with my boy, Johnny Pie. Love this guy. He's sick and tired of this Lineker Braverman fucking discussion. You know, it's like the sports discussion shuts down the UK when we can't have a serious discussion about the state of our economy, right? So, you know, Johnny Pie coming at you with the proper take. Love this guy. Check it out.
With Lineker's future at the BBC, frankly, in doubt. Didn't Gary Lineker once shit himself at the World Cup? That's about as far as my soccer trivia goes, really. Why are we still talking about Gary fucking Lineker? Why are we talking about one tweet from a football man rather than an immigration policy that would make, well, Hitler think twice? See, now I've just gone and done it.
Godwin.
See how easy it is to do that? It's called Godwin's Law, Tim. This comparison people continuously make to Nazi Germany every time they hear something they don't like. Hordes of brain-dead woke zombies shouting Nazi at anything they don't like the look of. I can't fucking bear it.
Yeah, same here.
But in this instance, his comment, if you actually look into it, actually might hold some water. I mean, let's unpack it here, okay? Is the Tory rhetoric over the last few years regarding refugees at all reminiscent of 1930s German rhetoric? Not have their intentions been like that of Nazi Germany, nor comparing their actions to the Holocaust. Is their language and rhetoric reminiscent of 30s Germany? Because that's what Lineker said. Nazi Germany rhetoric demeaned, otherized and dehumanized people and made them the enemy and the scapegoat of all its woes and attacked anyone who said differently as enemies of the people. Braverman has described refugees as an invasion. This week, out of nowhere, she suggested billions of migrants might be
dangerous dehumanization. This always leads to violence. When you otherize people like this, look, you could talk about like, okay, we don't have money, yada yada. But when you start engaging in the dehumanization, you're crossing a line that should not be crossed.
Heading towards our shores. She might not have used the word swarm, but she may as well have done. And she suggested that to not agree with the government is somehow unpatriotic and that human rights lawyers are loony lefty scum.
Yeah.
The government's immigration strategy itself is unworkable, immoral, illegal and inhumane, and yet it's Gary fucking Lineker causing outrage, whilst it's our government telling us that the Human Rights Convention doesn't fit with British values. How dare the Home Secretary lecture us about British values? How dare you decide in my name that women, children and men fleeing war, if they land on our shores, they will be treated automatically as criminals? How dare you? The reality is asylum applications are half what they were 20 years ago, yet the number of asylum applications processed within 6 months has fallen from almost 90% to about 4%. But of course, an efficient immigration service is just too bloody hard, so instead, let's just put a sign on a podium that says, "Stop the boats." I'm with Lineker with this one. Don't apologise, Gary. Don't do it. You don't have to. You're a fucking millionaire. And when you're finally booted out the corporation for insubordination, take a press conference and give a statement and tell us what you really think. And fucking go for it. I'll happily write it for you. And then go to ITV for probably more money but less kudos, but without a fucking Tory stooge at the helm lecturing you about your responsibilities whilst sorting out Boris Johnson's financial woes, whilst banning David Attenborough for being too left-wing and doing the government's bidding by grinding the BBC into the ground and then selling Broadcasting House off to the highest bidder so it can be turned into unoccupied luxury flats. Love you, Gary Lineker.
Give it to him.
Love the BBC, but fuck the BBC and fuck anyone who is angrier at Gary fucking Lineker than they are Suella fucking Braverman.
Exactly.
Fuck them.
Exactly. Fuck them. Exactly.
Look,
and because what he's talking about is that, you know, people that are pretending to be more concerned with this than they are about Suella Braverman's obvious racism and attempts at dehumanization. And like, there's a reason why she's in charge, you know, of immigration. There's a reason, because that's what they want. That's what they need. They're like, well, we're not going to make your lives any better. and we need a scapegoat. Look over there. Oh, man, these boat people are fucking our lives up.
For the BBC.
So anyway, big props to Johnny fucking Pie. Make sure you like and subscribe. He's an amazing, amazing content creator. Check out Jonathan Pie today. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Love it. Little news out of Queensland. We got some drone footage here. Queensland's in the UK, right? I hope so. But there's some flooding happening here. That happens in the remote town of Queensland, northwestern region. Have been issued a final warning to evacuate after heavy rain caused widespread flooding. And yikes. Oh, it's Australia. Close enough. Residents of Queensland's worst hit area have been... Isn't there a place in the UK called Queensland? Really? That's Australia? Big L. Big L. L's in the chat, boys. L's in the chat. Oh, look at those airplanes are about to fucking get sunk. Yeah, exactly. The British sent them there because they were too rowdy for the UK. Yeah, we're going to banish you to a fucking island paradise. Go have fun eating lobster and fucking on the beach all day. Okay. Are you going to send a bunch of prostitutes over? Yeah, we're going to send as many prostitutes as we can fit in a boat over there. Okay. No. It's where we used to send refugees in boats. Okay, maybe that was the connection. Maybe I'm just a jackass. Anyway, that's been your Australian news. Once again, another great content creator that I'm loving that is not the BBC, not, is totally independent. Maximilian Robespierre, and I do encourage you to like and subscribe. I'm actually subscribed, on this one. Sometimes a little hypocritical with that. I have a very curated algorithm, and I get it. Everyone else does too. But I do encourage you to like and subscribe on this guy because just amazing content. Keeps it short, keeps it simple, shows the source, gives you the one, two, three. Really helps Yanks like me understand the UK a lot better. So, if you're from somewhere else and you want to know the UK a little bit better from someone you can trust, bada boom, bada bing, right here. One in the US, there's not even a Queensland in the UK. Fuck me, dude. Fuck me. Go back to school, dude.
Hi guys, Labour are leading.
Oh, that's pathetic.
But when a breakdown is done by issue, such as the economy or the NHS, the Conservatives are trailing. In pretty much every area, Starmer's party is seen more favourably. Well, it seems that Labour wants to steal some of the Tories' thunder even on immigration, to the extent that even 30p Lee got hot under the collar. Now, whether you agree with it or not, Yvette Cooper here appeared to attack the Tories from the right, not the left. It made for parliamentary theatre, but is it the correct approach? Have a listen.
For it. They have been in power for 13 years. The asylum system is broken and they broke it. We need serious action to stop dangerous boat crossings which are putting lives at risk and undermining border security.
Look, folks, I can't show it on screen because Daddy Jeff Bezos would say no. But I could make this point very clear for her, and let me describe to you a photo of a dead and bloated toddler face down on the beach. That's exactly the kind of shit that you get with these kind of things. And like, look, yes, of course, some of these, the parents that would put their kid in that kind of danger, yeah, that's pretty fucking sick. That's pretty gross, right? Because as a parent myself now, I couldn't imagine. But I also can't imagine what being as desperate, what kind of position I would have to be put in to be considering such a desperate move, to put my child and my family in that kind of danger, to load up on some shitty dinghy. Well, thank you, Al Rakabi. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I did not know the name. His name is 30p Lee because he's a hypocrite. MP claims you can have a meal for 30p. Fucking where? Fucking where? You can't even buy a candy bar for 30p. Right? If I remember correctly, what pence is versus pound. Yeah, I don't think you could even get a candy bar for that.
And that is why Labour has put forward plans for a cross-border police unit, for fast-track decisions and returns, to clear the backlog and end hotel use, and a new agreement with France and other countries. But instead, today's statement is Groundhog Day. The Home Secretary has said anyone who arrives illegally will be deemed inadmissible and either returned to the country they arrived from or a safe third country.
It doesn't work.
Only that wasn't this Home Secretary. It was the last one. And that wasn't this bill. It was the last one, passed only a year ago, which did not work.
Ouch. Okay. You know, to list off, okay, this is what the Tories want.
So she just pointed out that, okay, this isn't even the first time you've introduced these ideas, and, you know, and we've tried these ideas and it doesn't work. And I can tell you from, I mean, everything I know about it, it just doesn't work.
To do, right, okay, fantastic, whatever. Yeah, but that was the last Home Secretary. That was the last bill. Wonderful theatre here by Yvette Cooper.
Fuck,
but
man, and his mic volume versus the video volume, so different. Sorry, I didn't see I was blowing you out there. Fuck.
She went on.
Bill makes this harder, unilaterally choosing to decide no asylum cases at all, but expecting every other country to carry on. And they would work with Labour on our plan for a major new cross-border police unit to go after the criminal gangs. But instead, the deputy chair of the Conservative Party...
And this is also bizarre here as well when you see stuff like this.
After the criminal gangs. But instead...
There's a lot of, you know, truth in what's being said and the accusations and the damage being done by their policies is quantifiable. You could absolutely say that you implemented this policy that caused more deaths than it should have, when we could have implemented this policy that would have prevented those people from getting on those boats and crossing that. And this is their reaction to that, you know, not even like a serious kind of like, you know, like a disagreement, but just giggling and laughing and cajoling. It's bizarre. It's really strange. In my opinion, these reactions to what they're hearing, because they're basically denying that these things are happening at all, or if you corner them and say, okay, yes, it's happening, it's not our fault, and those people are actually bad people for putting their kids in danger, and I'm going to intentionally ignore the situation that they were in that made them so desperate. It's a frightening sociopath kind of thing, and yeah, these people can't. I mean, you know, it'd be really nice if we got like what, another 17 months of this, 18 months of these fucking people in charge.
The deputy chair of the Conservative Party said yesterday we shouldn't go after the gangs because, well, they've existed for thousands of years. That is the disgraceful Tory attitude that's let the gangs off the hook and letting the gangs take hold. And one smuggler told Sky News yesterday that 3/4 of the smugglers live in Britain, yet barely any of them are being prosecuted, and they still haven't found the hundreds of children missing from asylum hotels who've been picked up by criminal gangs.
Oh my fucking God.
Ouch,
man.
ouch. You know,
oh my God. Oh my God. Do we have any more of this? I'm really tight for time, and I wish we had more time. Let's get a little bit of his commentary here.
Once again, it's wonderful theatre. Is it the correct approach? Because we would hope that the Labour Party would attack from the left, from the more humanitarian angle.
True.
But what Yvette Cooper here is doing, obviously, is attacking from the right, claiming that, you know, the Tories are not interested in dealing with this problem, that they have had 13 years to deal with this problem.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I think they're being really, really super cautious. Like, they're avoiding the Brexit debate as well, because they really, really, really don't want to fuck this up next election, right? They really, really, really want to try to get that center, get those people that voted Brexit but are really hating the Tories, and keep them on Team Labour. I think that's their focus. And I don't know as much about UK politics as I do the US, because I can tell you in the US, when the neoliberals try to focus their message to appeal to more moderates or right wing, it doesn't work out very well, because a lot of people would just rather vote right wing than right wing light. But I don't know if that's the case in UK politics. There's definite differences, and I've seen a lot of interviews with people in firmly Tory locations being like, I'm never voting Tory again. Brexit completely fucked me and my business and my whole family. I'm never doing that again, and yada, yada, right? Like, people have firmly changed their minds, which is a phenomenon you don't see too often in the United States, unfortunately.
And they're not interested in investing the resources necessary. That the Labour Party would work with other countries to stop the boats, to punish these smuggling gangs, stuff like this. Politically, I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Ethically,
it's not. Yeah.
It's the wrong thing to do.
Robespierre is totally on top of it. Yeah.
You want the Labour Party to win. You want the party in power. You don't want the Tories in. You want the Tories out. The Tories are not interested in resolving this.
Yeah.
The Labour Party would invest the resources necessary, or try to, at least.
And where the fuck are the progressives in all this, right? Where the fuck are they fucking sleeping, allowing hammer and sickle fuckheads to completely water down our message and bifurcate us in a million fucking directions. All right. So moving on, we got a couple more pieces of UK news here. We're trying to pile through here.
Immigration is a topic Labour leaders have largely avoided, but today Keir Starmer went full throttle on the issue. Why? Well, because of the government's record. He believes they failed in the past, and with their new plan, they'll fail again.
The problem just gets worse with every new gimmick. Nobody on this side of the House wants open borders. On that side, they've lost control of the borders. I don't agree with the Home Secretary on very much, but when she says that the Tories are all talk and no action, she's spot on, isn't she?
Suella Braverman there.
I believe that was the statement she made when she temporarily stepped down during Theresa May's 4-second reign.
Claiming, I didn't say that. The Labour leader did have some effective lines today, but just look at how Tory MPs reacted to this suggestion.
If he was serious about stopping the boats, he'd actually steal our plan on stopping the boats, smash the gangs, sort out the returns, and clean up the utter mess.
Well, in response to all of that, the PM seemed happy to be on populist Tory territory. Yes, Rishi Sunak avoided saying when the small boats problem would be sorted, but he seized on the opportunity to create a dividing line between the two parties on what could be a key election issue.
Yeah. It's a light fucking film of competency over a massive pile of wet, soggy diarrhea. And I'm sorry, that's really nasty. But that's what this fucking party is, man. I mean, come on. With this. Come on.
What we haven't heard is the Honourable Gentleman's plan. We know what it is. It's open door immigration.
And then this strategy, I'm so tired of the fucking gaslighting and this strategy of completely mischaracterizing the other side, just lying, just straight up lying. Because here we have Keir Starmer over here, agreeing with Suella Braverman that we got to do something about the boats and all this and that. And then the opening statement by this fucking liar is, all you want is open borders. And it's like, fuck you. You're such a bad actor. We're not even having an honest conversation right off the bat. You're reality weaving. Fuck off. It's like when you have a debate with someone about gun rights. You're like, yeah, I don't think assault rifles are that great, but pistols and shotguns and long rifles, they should be legal, right? To defend yourself and to go hunting. And they immediately say, oh, you want to grab all my guns. It's like, you don't want to have a debate. You want to have a fucking battle where you win. You don't want to talk about things that work. You want to just dominate. Right? Regardless of the facts, right? Which is the exact opposite of what politics should be, because politics should be about making people's lives better. Changed my party vote a few times. And went, oh my God, he's wrote a book here at the fucking Sam's Club. What are you, standing in line, waiting for the register? A strong Republican phrase. And then I moved to Libertarian and realized that actually, yes, that's right. Yeah, Libertarians are trash. Last two elections I voted straight Democrats. Hey, you got to give, like I said, you got to give credit to Davey over here. No, it's okay, Davey. I'm just giving you shit. You got to give credit to Davey for being consistent, even on things that, you'll nail him to the wall on it and he'll hold firm. So you got to give credit to Davey on that one. But anyway, back to this pile of shit. It just immediately dishonest with the framing of the debate, right? Keir Starmer going way out of his way to be like, yeah, we got to do something about it. You know, hey, I don't think this is just, a humanitarian issue. This is also an economic issue. And I agree with all these right-wing framings. And the first thing he says is, oh, you want open borders.
Could be a key election issue.
What we haven't heard is the Honourable Gentleman's plan. We know what it is. It's open-door immigration.
Not even close.
And unlimited asylum. Stopping the boats is not just my priority, it is the people's priority. On this matter, he talked about his legal background. He's just another lefty lawyer standing in our way.
What the fuck?
As you can...
It's completely substanceless mudslinging. Totally removed from reality.
Here, Tory MPs love that. Less so this SNP barb about Conservative rhetoric on immigration.
From whom are his government taking inspiration? Nigel Farage or Enoch Powell?
Mr. Speaker. And what a load of nonsense, Mr. Speaker. What a load of nonsense.
Stephen Flynn and a Labour MP also raised the possible consequences of the new illegal migration bill on victims of people trafficking.
Under his proposed new asylum laws, a woman who is sex trafficked to the UK on a small boat by a criminal gang will not be afforded protection under our modern slavery laws.
Can the Prime Minister therefore clear up whether Sir Mo Farah, who last year bravely revealed that he was trafficked to the UK as a child, would have been removed under this bill?
There is nothing compassionate, there is nothing fair about supporting that system continuing, and that's why our new laws are the right way to deal with this.
Elsewhere, the PM was questioned about Eurovision ticket touts, extradition...
maybe they should take a couple more cues from the United States and separate the children from the parents and kick the parents back while holding on to the children and then losing track of who the parents are. Maybe they should do that one as well. That's a real kick them in the nuts. Take their kids.
Law, women's rights, and when he'll publish his own tax return.
I'm fucking jacked off this coffee.
People want transparency in our politics, especially because the Prime Minister is the richest Prime Minister in history.
Mr. Speaker, as I previously confirmed, I will publish my tax returns, and that will be done very shortly.
Oh, yeah, real shortly. I'm going to make sure to do it real soon, guys. Oh gosh, it's looking like it's looking like I'll have to after the election. I don't know what to tell you after the election. I'm sorry, my guy's getting back to me. He's telling me it's going to be after the election is when I put those out there. Sorry, guys.
Today was immigration. Rishi Sunak knows he will be judged by voters on whether he can stop the boats. And I've spoken to senior people within the Home Office who admit that is an almost impossible task. But the PM has made the commitment, and
there's still a heavy Gordon or a fucking Boris Johnson contingency in the Tory party. Yeah, they're too cordial, actually, Davey. Way too cordial. Why Britain's millennials and young people are struggling to keep up with the boomers. No, I figured, I don't know if we'll show this whole video here, but I figured, we got a lot of young people tuning in. What does your future look like in the UK? All sunshine and rainbows. Don't worry, guys. You can tune off. Go back to your Fortnite. No, I'm not gonna shit on you. Come on. You fucking.
This is Britain's Youth Happiness Index, which reveals a concerning trend: happiness and confidence among
Yeah, Al Rakabi, that's terrifying. That's absolutely disgusting. I can't believe that's happening. And Full Metal. Yeah, with your comments, the parliamentary system can be incredibly frustrating sometimes, and it needs to be, and in some cases needs to be reformed, because oftentimes it's where debate goes to die. Far too often politicians create formulas and strategies that are way too effective at shutting down any kind of real debate or discussion, and the parliamentary system or whatever system's in place doesn't do anything about these strategies and tactics that are just accepted. I don't get to talk about real things anymore. I don't get called out if I say something untruthful. That can be very, very frustrating, because a parliament, in my view, a parliamentary system should help facilitate a proper debate on whatever topic's being discussed. But what can you do?
16 to 25-year-olds have hit a 13-year low. The study also found that 48% of young people are concerned about the impact of work and finances on their mental health. Unfortunately, the current state of the British economy is not helping matters. Brexit, COVID, and increased energy prices due to ongoing conflicts in Ukraine have made the economy more fragile, while inflation is at an all-time high and productivity has stalled. According to the IMF, almost 90% of adults are feeling the impact of the increased cost of living, with more than half cutting back on non-essential spending and home energy use. To make matters worse, inequalities in British society are also contributing to the difficulties faced by young people. This is a time when they are expected to kickstart their careers and care for aging parents.
Yeah. And like I said, it's the oligarchy, the dog. I'll take, no throw. I'll throw, no take. I'll throw, no take. And they like, well, keep having kids, keep buying luxury goods, keep doing this, keep everything going, keep going. But we're not going to give you any money. You just work harder. Just work harder. Do another job. Make your hobby a gig. Go. Make money. Come on, spend it. They don't want to give it to us though.
High housing costs, uneven taxes, and an unbalanced welfare state create a miserable period for Gen Z and millennials. A population pyramid splits a country into age cohorts, with the length of the
I'm sorry, with the fucking music and everything here, I'm just gonna 125 here. I'm sorry, but come on, man, perk it up.
Rectangle indicating the size of each group. The first group, known as the Silent Generation, was born between 1928 and 1945 and lived through major historical events such as World War II, the Great Depression, the rise of corporations, and the Space Age. Next, baby boomers, born between 1946 and 1964, constitute the largest demographic group in the country and have played a dominant role in shaping national affairs. Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980, came of age during the dawn of the internet, the birth of mobile phones, ATMs, and credit card debt. The millennial generation, born between 1981 and 1996, is known for their digital-first approach and proficiency in social media and gaming. However, they struggle with financial education and have lower incomes than previous generations of age 30, making it difficult for them to escape the rental trap in a skyrocketing property market.
Exactly.
Finally, the youngest generation, born between 1997 and 2012, is Generation Z and has never known a world without digital and social media. They are true digital natives and represent the future of technology and communication. However, the younger generation is more vulnerable to the current cost of living crisis than their own.
No, actually, Davey, I think he's right. I think it is. I don't think it's a real voice, bro. I don't think it's a real voice, man.
Older counterparts. According to credit and debit card data from Barclays PLCE, both Generation Z and millennials have drastically reduced their spending on discretionary items, while the older generations have been able to rely on their savings to maintain their living standard. This is due in part to the fact that the older generations have significantly more household wealth than their younger counterparts. In the UK, the average baby boomer has around 5 times more wealth than millennials and over 20 times more wealth than Generation Z.
No, and the oligarchy is like, how come you guys aren't spending as much? Oh, we're going to put out some propaganda articles about how you need to be spending more money and having more babies. It's not working, you fucking chuckleheads. You got to give us a little bigger slice of the pie, you fucking...
Household wealth, including net property wealth, private pension wealth, and net financial wealth, can help families weather income shocks by providing a buffer during bad time. However, wealth levels have a strong life course pattern, rising during the working age and then running down in retirement. Therefore, it is reasonable to expect the older age groups to own a larger share of the nation's wealth. In 2018-20, wealth peaked among 65-74-year-olds who held, on average, over £500,000 of wealth, compared to just £24,000 held by 20-29-year-olds. But what is even more crucial is the percentage change in wealth over time. The share of wealth held by those aged 65 and older has risen from 42% in 2006-8 to 50%.
You get the fucking gist. Things are bad, okay? Numbers, charts, and numbers. Like, you want the rest of this shit, it's right here. You get the point. Things are not looking too great. The boomers are fucking us. The only, like I said before at the beginning here, the only solution is political activism, is to get in the streets. They have control of the politics. They have control of the police. The only solution is political activism. The only solution is to become disruptive, to say, no, we're not moving. We're not working. We're not churning the cogs of your machine until you change the situation, until change comes. Okay, the Tories would respond to it. The fucking Labor Party would respond. The Labor Party, right? As if they give a fuck about unions, right? But they have to respond to it. That's why they do everything in their power to cap it, to divide and conquer and scare and do all that and all the heavy-handed tactics. They do that because it works. Okay, moving on.
I just want to get your reaction to tweet by
Migrant Crossings minister slams Gary Lineker over Nazi comparison. So this is their focus, right? Oh, I can't believe Lineker would say this. I can't believe Lineker would say this. I can't believe you're letting kids die in fucking boats, man. When we can find a solution for these people. Fortunately, they can't take their money. This is why I work for the government. They pay decent and have good benefits. Fortunately, they can't take their money to hell with them.
I just want to get your reaction to a tweet by Gary Lineker, the footballer who's taken issue with the scheme on moral grounds. He's said, there is no huge influx. We take far fewer refugees than other major European countries.
True.
This is just an immeasurably cruel policy directed at the most vulnerable people in language that is not dissimilar to that used by Germany in the 30s, and I'm out of order.
Well, firstly, on the language that he uses, I think that is inflammatory and wrong. You shouldn't throw around comparisons with the...
Yeah, even if they're accurate. Yeah, I mean, the Nazis did some good things, you know what I mean? It's have you heard this Kanye West guy? You know, Kanye West said, he said, we should love everybody.
Nazis and 1930s Germany, he should choose his language carefully, just as politicians should do. And I suspect he's been in the public eye long enough to know exactly the kind of reaction that he was going to provoke. But on the policy, he's also
Cancel
wrong.
him.
Because unlike Gary Lineker, I see every day in my job what the evil people smuggling gangs are actually doing.
They're so evil. They're so evil. I saw a mother with two children, and the kids were carrying Uzis. Scary.
And,
he is
and
right, though,
what they do
say,
is cruel and heartless.
But what he's talking
People
about...
are dying as a result of their activities, and the only way to break...
The only way to do it is to stick a gun in their face and tell them, you're fucking dead if you come the fuck over here. That's the only solution, right? Because it's not like they got a gun on their back. It doesn't work. Let me tell you, it doesn't fucking work. Right? The Republicans building a wall, they dig under it. They climb over it. You know, they get helicopters and drones and shooting them down and horses and whipping them, right? I guess that it was proven that he wasn't whipping. He was whipping his own horse. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fucking work. And all it does is make you look like brutal assholes. And you're dumping these people in other locations just like Ron DeSantis does, right? Loads up a bus with fucking what's his nuts from Texas, Greg Abbott from Texas, loading up buses of immigrants and taking them to Nancy Pelosi's house and shit like that. It's embarrassing and it's dehumanizing.
Their business model
is
to implement a policy like this.
What he's also talking about, though, is that we take fewer refugees than other major European countries. And actually, if you look at applications made in 2021 per head, per 100,000 population, you know, we are quite a long way down the list, aren't we? Germany, France, Switzerland, Netherlands, Spain.
Well, it depends how you look at the figures. I mean,
it depends on how you look at it. When actually, if you were to look at it in a kind of a mathematical equation kind of way, you go back. We're actually not that low.
You look at the Homes for Ukraine scheme. That is, that is twice the size of the French equivalent.
You're just using one example of just people from Ukraine. We're talking about the overall refugees.
It's a pretty significant scheme. You're talking about 150,000
I'm talking about overall refugee numbers here. And you're completely deciding to answer a completely different question.
Let me answer a different.
Thank God for this woman. Holy shit. Even Sky News is right wing. Even Sky News is like, it's too far, man.
Then, if you look at the countries who take people on safe and legal routes organised by the UNHCR, we are the fourth largest recipient of those individuals of any developed country in the world.
Not looking at the overall figures, you're looking at
well, I'm looking at countries, in terms of how would you measure a country's willingness to embrace those people who are in greatest need in...
This is just like the Bill Hicks bit about the Rodney King, right? The cop up there. Well, if you look at the film in reverse, you could actually see it's us picking him up and sending him on his way. This fucking asshole really has just full contempt for you. Just he thinks you're a fucking moron. Oh, or number 4. Oh, it's if you look at that list where we're at the bottom, if you look at it upside down, we're actually right at the top. Who Tories eat this shit up, don't they? I'm a jackass.
But he's talking. His statement is we take far fewer refugees than other major European countries.
Well, I don't think that's correct. I mean, obviously there are countries like Poland.
It is provably and quantifiably correct. You can prove it without a shadow of a doubt. If you were in a court of law, you could prove that statement is correct. You fucking charlatan. Gaslighter.
Whose borders, their position within Europe means that inevitably very large numbers of people have crossed and they've welcomed them in a compassionate manner. Okay. But the schemes that we have put forward in recent years are incredibly generous and compassionate, and that will always continue.
We're so fucking compassionate when we grind our boot into your fucking child's skull. Now that's going too far. That's going too far. And one more. Migrant crossings is Rishi Sunak's new bill legal? Is this thing even legal? So just a very quick couple-minute analysis of the legality of treating people this badly. Well, it's totally legal in the United States. Why not, right? And it works so well. Oh, they're so scared. They don't come anymore. They're so worried about the wall.
Immigration matters a long way from the Kent coast.
The country's overrun with people, illegally, illegal coming over.
In marginal northern seats like...
Yeah, make it that guy's like... honestly, is how... I love to ask these people, how in the world is an immigrant making your life specifically? Name me one thing that an immigrant is doing that's making your life worse. They usually do the crime thing, right? Oh, I could get mugged, I could get robbed. Really? You look at the crime stats, they're fraction of the crime. They're like, pathetic.
Legally, illegal coming over.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna take your shit. What are they gonna take from you, man? What? You're what are they gonna take from you, dude? Come on.
In marginal northern seats like Dewsbury.
We need immigration for some sort of sectors in our community.
Yeah, but they bring more family members over and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Places that will become an election battleground, where people are watching the government's bold plan to stop the boats.
When will the new detention centres be open for business?
Well, we already have a detention estate.
When will they be open for business?
We are rolling out new detention spaces to support the detention pressures.
Detention spaces. Oh, that's so cute. It's so cute.
I'm not going to give precise dates because we will have, we've got logistical challenges that we're always overcoming.
Logistics are one thing, but is this bill even legal?
Look at this. I'm unable to make a statement that, in my view, this bill is compatible with the European Convention on Human Rights. That's very unusual.
Do you think this is going to end up in court?
It will certainly end up in the courts because individuals will challenge what the government does. This bill obviously will take a few months to go through Parliament, and perhaps the government hopes that this will be in force by the summer. Then there will be challenges, and they could take months, even years, to go through the court. The government hopes that simply publishing this bill and talking tough will begin to deter migrants from coming here.
Not even close. Not even fucking close. Not even fucking close. You think these people have access to the fucking internet? You think these people are fucking tuning in to Sky News? You fucking crazy maniacs! Oh, even if it's not legal or not, just the fact that we're going to be treating them like cockroaches, that we're even talking about it, that will slow things down. It'll be a big W for us. It'll be a big W for us. What the fuck?
But the Prime Minister may well relish a battle in the courts. and with the Labour Party.
His position on this is clear. He wanted to, in his words, scrap the Rwanda deal. He voted against measures to...
And don't you love this? And don't you love when the hardcore right uses the fact that the neoliberal left is constantly embracing right-wing politics and drills into them? Trump did this really well with Bernie, right? Shitting all over them. He's like, I'd rather not go up. I'd rather go up against Hillary than Bernie. You know, and and don't you love it? The right wing digging into the left for their acceptance of their policies.
Foreign criminals, Mr. Speaker, and he even argued against deportation flights. Well, and we know why, because on this matter, he talked about his legal background. He's just another lefty lawyer standing in our way.
All they offer...
Yeah, and this is interesting. The slogans that they're repeating over and over and over again, that's interesting.
It's the same old gimmicks and empty promises. I don't agree with the Home Secretary on very much, but when she says that the Tories are all talk and no action, she's spot on, isn't she?
We already saw
that. The government's weak spot is the workability of this plan, but immigration policy is election material, and they sense a weakness in Labour. Behind the scenes, Number 10 are pretty pleased with how the last few days have gone.
He's a PM keen to be seen in control, earlier marking International Women's Day as he tries to tackle immigration. In the end, success may be more about the politics than the policy.
These vapid photo ops really, like, you know, because I love women. I think we should celebrate women. I think it's just so disgusting when such a vapid, empty vessel, you know, takes something so important and so wonderful and uses it for just cold political calculus. You know, fuck you, dude. Anyway, that's my UK update. Fuck Rishi Sunak, man. Fuck the whole Tory party. You know, and while we're at it, fuck Labour, because come on, let's be real. You know, oh, we tried a little progressivism and that didn't work. Fuck me, man.